Thanks everyone for joining us. We have Mookie Betts with us. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. First question's from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead, Alana.
Mookie, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate you being with us today. What's it been like for you to get ready in this new normal, trying to get ready for a baseball season during a pandemic?
It's been kind of tough. I mean, you don't really get to interact with your teammates like you want, like the game has always been for so long. But you manage. I mean, there's always ways to get ready, and if you want to get ready, you'll be ready. And obviously, everybody here wants to be ready, so we're working diligently to get ourselves prepared to play the season. But we also have to be smart about the safe and health concerns.
You've known David Price for a long time. What was your reaction when you heard that he was opting out for this season?
I mean, I was fully supportive. I mean, he has to take care of himself, and if that's what he feels is best for him and his family, then I'm fully on board with it. He's one of the best teammates I've ever had. He's a competitor, plays the game the right way. Like I said, great in the clubhouse, and so he's doing this for himself. And sometimes you have to do some things for yourself.
At what point do you think you are as far as being ready for the season? If this were a normal spring training, Clayton Kershaw the other day said he was basically mid-March form. Where would you say you are?
I'm not very good in spring training, so somewhere in spring, I don't know. It's hard for me to really say. I didn't do a whole lot of. I took care of my body, made sure I stay in shape, but it's just different when you're here, and so still kind of trying to put some pieces to the puzzle. But as far as timing, I don't know where I'm at.
And finally, for me, Mookie, what's it like for you mentally knowing that you will be able to put on a Dodger blue uniform? I know people, as far as the fan base is concerned, chomping at the bit to see you play in this uniform.
Obviously, it's going to be an amazing thing just to be able to put on a Dodger uniform. Really, to put on a uniform in general, I'm happy. This is basically a new home for me. So I'm definitely super excited, and got 60 games to get in the playoffs, and then we got to bring home a ring.
Next question is from Dylan Hernandez, LA Times. Go ahead, Dylan.
Hi, Mookie. Obviously, this being a walk year for you, and this being only a 60-game season, I mean, how do you kind of feel about that, having kind of so much at stake potentially, in such a small sample size? And, did you consider sitting out at all for that reason, to better set you up for free agency?
Free agency is like on the back burner. That's not really that'll come. That's nothing that I'm really thinking about right now. I think the main concern is the safe and health. There's a lot going on. We haven't gotten tests back. We don't know who's sick, who's not sick. There's just a lot going on that needs to be addressed. And free agency is not one of those things right now. That'll come whenever it comes.
And I'm just kind of wondering, there was a report that you turned down $300 million from the Boston Red Sox. Given everything that's going on, economically right now, labor-wise in baseball, do you have any second thoughts about that now in retrospect? And how confident are you that the market will be there for you this winter if you do perform?
I don't regret turning down that. And that was, once I make a decision, I'm making a decision. I'm not going back and questioning myself. So I don't worry about that. The market will be what the market is. We'll just kind of cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, like I said, it's just the safe and health things that we need that I'm worried about, and that whole thing's on the back burner.
Next question from Tim Brown. Go ahead, Tim.
Hi, Mookie. I'm curious, obviously you kept your body in shape and all. The past 3 months, mentally, how did you stay sane, alert, grounded, all those things? What was your sort of mental routine? What were the things you clung to just to sort of stay in the moment?
To be honest, I stayed in shape working out wise, just because I know I need to stay in shape, for it when and if the season starts. That was my thought then. But honestly, I just didn't do a whole lot of baseball activity. I didn't want to overwhelm myself, going to hitting the cage with like an empty goal, like not empty goal, but not knowing when the season was going to start or if it was, and not having that start date. I didn't have a goal to accomplish before that start date, and so I didn't want to drive myself crazy for those 3 months. And so I just stayed away from baseball, and then once they announced the date, then I went hard for those however many days I got before the camp started. But so I really stayed away from baseball just to keep myself sane.
So what did you substitute in for all that time you typically would be playing baseball? You reading or I don't know, learning about something? Did you learn to play the piano? What did you do?
So golf, obviously, and then fishing. I went fishing a lot, and so once that would be and spend time with my family, man. I know that kind of gets overlooked, but those 3 months were probably the best 3 months of my life as far as being able to get really close to my daughter and my family, and so that's a lot in itself, but definitely golf and fishing took the place of it.
Okay, last question. What happened to your handicap? What direction did it go in, and where's it landed? And what sort of fish?
I actually my handicap got a little lower. I think I was about a 12 or so, and now I'm probably like a 8-ish. So definitely took some steps in the right direction, and we went catfishing. So anytime it would rain, if rain was in the forecast, we were going fishing, and that's when we caught the most fish. Filleted them up, fried them up, and did everything. Fishing is definitely time consuming and fun process.
Testing process. How confident are you in the procedures that have been put in place?
I can't say I'm that confident because I haven't been shown yet. That's kind of tough to be confident in something that hasn't proved to be foolproof, and so there's not a whole lot really I can do. It's kind of out of my control, but it's in somebody's control, and whoever's control it's in, just have to find a way to make it work, or this whole operation may not be able to work.
Does it make you wonder about the possibility or the likelihood of getting the full 60 games and postseason in without interruption of some kind?
Yeah, I mean that definitely comes into play. I mean, we got to get to the season first. We got camps being shut down, and people going 3 and 4 days without tests, and you just don't know what's going on. And I know it's hard. I'm not blaming or saying this, that, and the other. I'm just saying it's hard, but somebody's got to do it, and we have to just figure out the right way to do it.
Alana mentioned the fans out there anxious to see you play a game in a Dodgers uniform. When all this was going on, did you ever think that you might never put the uniform on in a real game?
Yeah, I mean, I still have my doubts, just based off of the what's going on. But I'm definitely preparing the same way. I'm fully expecting to play, but that doesn't that doesn't mean there aren't doubts that kind of go on with the facts starting in front of you. But yeah, I'm definitely super excited to play and looking forward to it for sure.
Next question is from Dave Vassay. Go ahead, Vassay.
Mookie, your teammates talked about how you helped set the tone in spring training with the focus on the backfield. Do you believe it's going to be difficult to recapture that focus that you helped set the tone with this break?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not the same game we were preparing to play, you know? So this is a different game. And so this is much harder. You have to focus, you know, I don't even know how many times more. And you have to just, you know, really, really, really concentrate on what the task is at hand. And if you don't, everything going on around you will kind of consume you, and once that happens, you know, it's kind of over at that point. So you just have to kind of block everything else. Obviously pay attention to what's going on, but during the game you have to be able to do both, like watch your health but also play the game too. And so that's two different things kind of going on that are going to be hard to switch your focus back and forth, but it's what we signed up for, so we have to do it.
Do you feel like these inter-squad games help you raise that level of focus more than just doing individual works in these groups?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a little competition there, so that definitely helps. But I'm not sure that we will get the full feel until the regular season starts.
Thank you.
Next question is from Andy McCullough. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey, Mookie, I was just curious. Did you talk much to David about his decision before it came? Was it something that you were aware he was really contemplating?
No, I mean, we talked a little bit, but you know, he's got to make his own decision. I'm not here to tell him what to do, what's best for his family. He knows what's best for his family, and he knows that I'm always going to be on his side no matter what. And so I think the guys in the clubhouse, we all supported his decision, and so I think that's the most important thing. Like, he can go home and enjoy himself with his family and stay safe and stay away from it all, and know that everybody's in his corner. He's not by himself.
Is it at all tougher for younger guys like yourself who haven't reached free agency, that like if you theoretically wanted to opt out, you would lose the service time and not be able to go into the market? Like, has that affected your thought process at all?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely something to think about. I'm not in the same, like I said, I'm not in the same predicament as someone who can opt out. I'm kind of like I said, in a different spot, and so my decision is gonna obviously be different, and so that's that's kind of the situation I'm in and whatnot, and so that's.
We got one final question from Jack Harris. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Mookie, I know that you were active on social media and Instagram the last month with a lot of the social reckoning that's been going on. I'm wondering just what you made of baseball's reaction to all this as a whole, from players to teams to the league itself.
Are you referring to the whole COVID situation?
No, more the Black Lives Matter protest and the social justice conversation that's been going on in the sport and really the whole country.
Yeah, I think baseball did not do a good job of that, but I think voices were heard, and I think that's the main thing, is that we get our voices heard to make some changes. And I know it's not going to be all at one time, but a little change here, a little change there, and eventually we'll get to where we need to be.
Yeah. Do you have sort of specific things that you'd like to see happen, either this year or maybe longer term within the sport at least?
I mean, obviously, I think it's more of a personal thing that I have to bring baseball into the black communities. It's obviously MLB can help, but I think it's on us as in the black players, to bring it to the black communities and kind of make baseball cool, because I think that's where it kind of the disconnect is. Like us as black people don't think it's that much fun, and so we have to find a way to make it fun for the black community and get more guys here.